A huge name has emerged for James Franklin as the possible next offensive coordinator for Virginia Tech. We're going to talk about it next here on the College Huddle. You have slid into home base here on the College Huddle 87 independent podcast from coast to coast, covering your favorite schools. And this is the mothership here on the YouTube channel of the College Huddle. Welcome in. James Franklin was hired about a week or so ago in Blacksburg, Virginia, as the next head coach for the Virginia Tech Hokies. And when I did that video, go back and watch it if you don't believe me, I said it is incredibly important. The first hire, the most important hire James Franklin is going to need to make is going to be an offensive coordinator who can develop a quarterback. The reason why I said that was because James Franklin's track record isn't the best at developing said quarterback. And if he would have over there in Happy Valley, Penn State probably would have at least competed for a national championship last year, and maybe he would have won more games and not gotten the nickname Big Game James. He's always had the defense at Penn State, always. He just lacked a quarterback to give that offense the oomph they needed to get over the huddle. He had some good quarterbacks. Never did he have great quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks. And now he has the potential to possibly hire somebody who has worked with elite quarterbacks before in Chip Kelly. That's right. Chip Kelly was released by the Las Vegas Raiders. He doesn't even make it through one complete season there with the Raiders over in Vegas as offensive coordinator there, and he is now available for hire. There's a lot of different opinions on where he might end up going. Some believe he could end up back at Ohio State as Ryan Day's offensive coordinator. There's potential for him if he wants to be a head coach again, especially in college, to find a landing spot. There's Arkansas available that I think would give him a call. Oregon State would definitely hire him. I think Stanford would be very interested in him as well. Of course, keep in mind the current head coach over there at Stanford is just an interim for a season. That's the plan right now. Would Andrew Luck bring Chip Kelly in? I don't know. Chip Kelly has let it be known, and the reason why he even left UCLA to begin with 2 years ago was because he was tired of recruiting. He was tired of the NIL world. He just wanted to coach ball, right? That was the whole purpose of him going to Ohio State. And then the whole purpose of him leaving Ohio State and going back to the NFL was he didn't have to worry about recruiting. He could just coach. Well, I think at Virginia, he would have to do some recruiting, obviously. But James, I think, is a good enough recruiter that he could probably give Chip most of the talent he needs to just let Chip kind of sit back and develop and coach and call the offense like he might want to do. Obviously, he would have to recruit as offensive coordinator, especially when the players came on their official visits to Blacksburg. But I think this would be a very interesting proposition for not only Chip Kelly, but also for James Franklin. Keep in mind, James Franklin got an up-close and personal look at what Chip Kelly can do with an offense last season when he was the head coach at Penn State, and Ohio State came into Happy Valley and beat him there in his offense. Chip Kelly's offense and Ryan Day's Buckeyes beat James Franklin and Penn State right there in Happy Valley. So he saw that up close in person, what he can do offensively. And obviously he was paying attention to what Ohio State did in the playoffs. Chip Kelly got a lot of credit for what he was able to do offensively with the play calling when the Buckeyes blitzkrieged Tennessee. They doubled up Oregon. They actually doubled up Texas as well, 28-14, although one of those was a defensive touchdown, albeit. And then, of course, outscored Notre Dame for a national championship. So he was paying attention. Chip Kelly's kind of a splashy name. It would take a lot to get Chip Kelly. Let's be honest. He's not going to have a cheap price tag here. He's gonna be an expensive hire, but there's a lot of talk that Virginia Tech is investing in this program like they've never invested before. Hence why they brought James Franklin in, the press conference, the talking about the investment that's going to be made in this football program. You could really make a huge exclamation mark on that statement and a huge splash to recruits, to the fan base, to the entire ACC conference if James Franklin's able to hammer down bringing in Chip Kelly as the next offensive coordinator for the Hokies. And I'm not the only one who's been thinking about that. Check out these quotes. This one actually came I saw this quote from Saturday Blitz. So I was reading an article on Saturday Blitz. In fact, it's really funny how this came about. I did a quick Google search because I thought, man, this would be a great hire for James Franklin. And lo and behold, I'm not the only one who was thinking about this. The biggest knock on James Franklin, aside from his struggles in big games, was the fact that he couldn't ever develop a quarterback. As James Franklin takes over Virginia Tech, he could land Chip Kelly to help him hit that next level on offense. The ACC is wide open as of late, and if the Hokies could hit the ground running, they could compete for the league in year number one. So I'm not the only one, number one, who cited the fact that James Franklin's lack of development of an elite quarterback was the issue at Penn State. So affirmation there. Thank you very much. And number two, I'm not the only one thinking about James Franklin to Virginia Tech would actually make a ton of sense for James Franklin, for Virginia Tech, and for this guy as well, nonetheless. This one comes from the Fighting Gobbler website. This is Scott, I think it's Roche is how you pronounce his name. If I mispronounce your name, my man, if you happen to see this video, my apologies. Think about Kelly calling plays for the Hokies next fall and beyond. He's an aggressive coach who mixes play calling well and would be a welcome addition. Money should not be the problem for Franklin to lure him to Blacksburg after the investment Virginia Tech is making to Franklin and football for the future. Kelly might also be interested in returning to college as a head coach, with a number of priority openings still out there. Penn State, Auburn, Florida, Arkansas, and others are still open. Could Ole Miss become open sooner rather than later? His options could be endless, but Franklin's move to hire him would be a huge get as a high-profile hiring for his staff. No doubt about that, man. This would be a massive hire for James Franklin and Virginia Tech if they were able to snag Chip Kelly and bring him to Blacksburg to be the quarterback developer, the offensive play caller, the OC extraordinaire, etc., etc., etc. So what do you guys think about it? Do you think that would be a great hire for Virginia Tech? Would you like that hire if you're a Hokies fan? If you're an ACC fan, would you hate to see this hire, meaning it's going to be a good hire? Or do you think, yeah, I don't really care. It's, James Franklin's big game, James, and it doesn't matter. Keep in mind, though, James Franklin's going to have to do some massive persuasive, and there's really no connection there that I could make, coaching connection between the two. So it would literally be a professional hire and a financial hire. But you have to ask, what does this guy want? What does this guy want? And Ohio State fans feel like he might be coming back to Columbus for the playoff run and an advisory role, and possibly if Penn State were able to lure Brian Hartline away and make him their next head coach, Chip Kelly would slide right back in as offensive coordinator at Ohio State. So if he ends up going back to Columbus, Ohio, keep your eye on the Brian Hartline rumors to Penn State starting to heat up once again. But that's my quick take on Chip Kelly to as the name that's emerged as the possible offensive coordinator hire there for Virginia Tech. Let me know what you think about what I think down in the comment section below. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for all of you who have. We appreciate that. Love talking college football with all of you. We'll see you in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already. Have a great Monday, everybody.